Hello students, how are you? I hope you're all doing good. So in the last Google Meet class, those most of the students were absent. As I can understand, yeah, because a few days ago we had our great festival Durga Puja and Shubha Vijaya to you all. And I hope that you have enjoyed this puja. Though it is in this pandemic we couldn't, but still with our own family, friends, since we have with our family, if we have family, it is enough for give us happiness. Now let's move to the topic that what we have discussed in the last class. We have discussed in the last video, you have seen that how wind is generated, how why air moves, and due to the difference in pressure in the two region, that is the reason why air flows. That is a difference in pressure, the air flows, and due to this difference in pressure, that creates a different kind of phenomena like wind, storm and cyclone. These phenomena are all are created, are formed due to the difference in pressure. Now let's come to the wind. Now since we are talking about the wind current, now the things we have understood why how wind happened or how wind is formed. Now the thing is that wind currents, how these wind currents are generated on the earth. Different wind currents you have studied in geography that in a different latitude belts, the wind current, the flow of the winds are different. The direction, the flow of a wind or the flow of air or wind directions, and the directions are different. And the reason is why so the reason is that when it is summer, you will see the direction of wind is opposite to the wind direction in the winter. In winter, you will see the winds are flowing from north to south, and in a summer, something from west to east, something like that. And that is a question that why? Why in summer the winds are flowing in this is different direction, and in winter it's a different direction, and the winds current generated on a different latitude belts, why it is different? That is a major question, and that question the answer we will find out today. So wind currents are generated on earth due to the uneven heating, due to the uneven heating uneven heating of the earth. Now the question is, the uneven heating of the earth means there are two ways. There is a two uneven heating of the earth. One is land and water. Due to the uneven heating of the land and water, the winds currents are generated differently in summer and winter. And another one is due to the uneven heating of the earth at equator and poles. Equator and poles. Due to the equator and poles. Due to uneven heating at equator and poles, we know that at polar region, be it a south pole or a north pole, there is a it is a colder region. The ice caps, glaciers are mostly present at the extreme points of the earth, that is south pole and the north pole. And in equator, you will see that most of the deserts or most of the rainforests, they are present in there. They're like tropical areas, and these are all because of the uneven heating of the earth. Now let's understand how this heating of the earth, what happens when the sun rays, heating of the earth, what happens due to the heating of the earth. First we will explain that, and then we will move to that what happens when there is uneven heating of the equator and poles and the land and water. First we will have to understand the heating of the earth, that what happens when it is heating of the earth, and then we will move to this. Okay, let's see. So what actually happens due to the heating of the earth? Heating of earth. First we have to know this. What happens due to heating of the earth? Earth is heated, but how? Due to the presence of the sun, because of the sunlight. When the sunlight falls on this earth's surface, then what will happen? When the sunlight falls on the surface, the air is present above the land. The air is present on the earth, above the earth's surface. Air is present above the earth's surface. So as a result, when land is getting heated up, the air present above the earth's surface will also get heated up. will also get heated up, and as a result what will happen? We know that whenever the air gets warmed, it will rise up. It will rise up, and as it rise up, we know that what will happen? Then it will maximum of the air will move up. As a result, less minimum amount of air will be present over here, and it will create a low pressure region. Now suppose here there is no sunlight. Suppose here this is a reason where there is less amount of sun rays are going. So what will happen? So here in this position, the land will not get it as hot as it is here. So what will happen? The air is still cold. The air present over here are cooler than this. So present, as a result, the most of the air are present in the below the surface, not above the surface. It is not going up. So what will happen? The pressure over here will be high. And as you can see, there is again here also the pressure difference arises due to the uneven heating. As a result, what will happen? The air from this high pressure region will move to this low pressure region. And this is what actually happens due to the uneven heating of the earth at equator and poles, as well as land and water. What is actually happening? That suppose the sun is present over here, and they are getting direct sun rays. So as direct sun rays are falling on the earth, as a result land is getting heat. Land is getting heated, and what will happen? And the air present on the above surface will get warm. And we know as the air will get warm, it will rise up. And since it will rise up, it will create a low pressure region above the earth's surface. It will create low pressure region at above earth surface. And since the low pressure region is created over the earth's surface, now suppose there is one region where the sun rays are not coming properly. So what will happen? Suppose this is the area. So what will happen? Land is not getting heated up. So what will happen? The air is also not getting heated up. So maximum of air is present over here. It is not rising up. So as a result, now you can see there is a difference in pressure. P1, suppose here P2. And since here is high and it is a low, there is a difference in pressure. And as a result, due to the arising of a difference in pressure, what will happen? This air will move from this air present in a high pressure region will move to low pressure region, thus creating a wind current. And the air from high pressure region will move to low pressure region, and thus creating wind current. So how wind current is forming? As you can see, it is written that because of the uneven heating, that in some place the sun rays are falling directly, and in some place the sun rays are not falling directly, and and as a result what is happening, that the air from high pressure region moves to low pressure region and thus creating the wind current. And this is the reason how the wind current are formed on the earth at a different latitude belts. Okay, let's discuss how due to the uneven heating. Since you can see that is an uneven heating. You can see that here it is an uneven heating. Here it is a direct rays. This is a direct rays, and here indirect rays are coming. So direct rays will heat the land more intensely, will heat the land more intensely, and here less heated land. As a result, the pressure will be high than this, as most of the air has risen up. So this is the reason, and as a result the air will move and thus creating a wind current. Okay, now let's discuss the uneven heating of the earth at equator and poles. How the uneven heating creates a wind current of the earth at a different latitudes. So let's discuss about the uneven heating of the earth at equator and poles. So here you can see this is the sun and the earth. And as we know, the sun and the earth, the distance between are very far. So let's observe. And we know the earth, that equator is this is the equatorial region, and these are the polar region. Now let's see what. Now we know that sunlight, the light we get, the light is coming out from the sun. And what will happen? The sunlight, the sun rays that are coming out, it will come like this. Now like we know, আমরা টর্চে দেখেছি যখন টর্চের লাইটটা জ্বলে তো কি হয়, whenever we light a torch, what we will see, that the light are forming like this, right? That light travels like this, it travels like this, right? Similarly, the light of the sun will also travel like this. The light rays coming out of the sun will also travel like this. Like some rays will go like this and some rays will go like this. See? And as you can see that the distance covered by these rays are different. Like the distance covered by these from sun and the earth are very less, and whereas where this is very large, whereas the polar region are very large, and these rays are called slanting rays. And the sun rays that are travel like them straightly, these are direct rays. So what will happen, that since it is covering the less distance, so what will happen, the land present at the equatorial region will get more heating or intense heating than the polar region. And by this, due to this it creates a wind current. Due to the uneven heating of the earth. How the uneven heating is created? Because of the light rays travel by the sun rays at a different region. In the polar region, the light rays are traveled in a slanting way, are very large, whereas in the equatorial region the distance are very less. As a result, the intense heating will be created over here. Than the polar region. And as this result, since the heating of the earth is uneven, and due to this uneven heating, it creates a wind current. At the polar region, the heating is very less than the equatorial region. That at polar region, heating is less than the heating at equatorial. And by this idea, we can say that this is the reason why the wind currents are formed. Wind currents are formed at a different latitudes, in a different latitudes. Now let's see that how this pattern, let's see the pattern of the wind flow due to this uneven heating of the earth at equatorial and polar region. So as you can see, I have drawn a curve. This is the earth and these are the different latitude belts. These degrees are different latitude belts. Now what actually happening over here? Let's see. Now see, these sun rays are coming. We know that sun rays are not falling equally. The sun rays are not falling equally on the earth, and that is the reason it is creating uneven heating. It is creating an uneven heating at different region, polar, tropical areas and equator and the southern polar region. So these tropical areas, what are the tropical? Which one should we call it tropical areas? Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn. These three together are called the area, the lines, this Tropic of Cancer, Equator and the Tropic of Capricorn, the line that passes through over the country, over the lands. These areas are called tropical areas, and you will see that most of this, what should I say, desert or whatever you see, that most of the beautiness lies over here because of the direct heating. And these belts are actually 0 degree belts. These are the latitude belts of this is a degree. Now let's see what actually happening. Now how the pressure difference is. We know greater is the heating, lower is the pressure. The more it is heating, the air will get warm, it will rise up and it will create a low pressure. Now as you can see that these direct rays are falling on the tropical areas, that is Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Capricorn. So we can assume that these areas are getting intense heating, are getting heated up intensely, and as a result what will happen in these areas will create a low pressure region, right? Now move to the either side of the earth, be it north or be it south, 30 degree. In this region, the sun rays are not falling evenly. So as a result, what will happen? The land will not get heated up that much fast as it is happening over here, and as a result, the air is remaining are cooler than here. So as what will happen? Lesser the heat, higher the pressure. Lesser the heat, higher the pressure. So here we can say it creates a low pressure region, and here also the low pressure region. Now moving to further up and either side of the earth. So in the 60 degree, you will see that in this region that low pressure is created. In this region, the low pressure is created. Low pressure region is created. And if we move to the extreme part of the earth, that is here it is creating a high pressure. It is creating a high pressure. Now you can see that here it is a low pressure, here it is a high pressure, it is a low pressure and it is a high pressure. Again here it is a high pressure, it is a low pressure, and this is a high pressure. Now as you can see the pressure difference, we can at least get an idea to how the wind will flow, how the wind currents are generated due to the uneven heating, and due to the uneven heating there creates a pressure difference. The more heating, we know that more heating will create low pressure will create low pressure, and less heating will create high pressure, because the air is not moving up, so air is remaining over the land only. So now we can get an idea of wind direction. So what will happen? Now here low pressure is creating, the air will be less, and as a result the pressure difference is created. What will happen? The air present in here, the air present in a high pressure region will move towards low pressure region, and these are called, and these wind that is flowing from high pressure at 30 degree to 0 degree is actually called trade winds. What it is called? trade winds. It is called trade winds. Now similarly, again what will happen? Now as we moving either side of the earth, now here it is a low pressure again. Again here it is a low pressure. Now what will happen? As you can see at the extreme point, it is a high pressure and it is a high pressure. So in this case what will happen? That air from high pressure, from polar region will move to the 0 degree, will move to the 60 degree region. Will move to the 60 degree region. And some of the air in this region also will move to this, towards this low pressure region. So see, as you can see that I have drawn a wind pattern, that how the wind current are generated due to the uneven heating and due to the pressure difference. Due to the uneven heating, the pressure difference is created, and due to this, as we can see that different wind patterns that are formed at different latitudes. So as you can see that I am summarizing it, that since these areas, these tropical areas, the intertropical convergent areas are getting a direct rays, so intense heating will be caused. Then as a result, the air will get warmer, it will rise up, and thus creating a low pressure. So what will happen? Thus creating the low pressure. So what will happen? These above at a 30 degree, which we call horse latitude, will move the air present at the high pressure region. As you can see, the cooler air from 30 degree latitude on either side of the equator move towards the equator. And do you know what kind of wind it is called? It is called trade winds. Means the wind moving from 30 degree to 0 degree. Wind moving from 30 degree to 0 degree are called trade winds. Similarly, that now as we move upper side, as we can say that these area are getting quite heated up than the polar areas. So what will happen? The warmer air present in this region will rise up and creating a low pressure. So what will happen? The cold air from the polar region will move towards this low pressure region. And some of the air will also move towards this. But you know what kind of winds it is called? It is called westerlies. The winds flowing from polar region to 60 degree latitudes are called westerlies wind. Now comes to the next. Now, one thing you should know, that the direction of wind, the wind current that is generated on the different latitudes of the earth, the direction of wind current is not exactly that south to north or north to south. It is not moving from, suppose this is north, south, and this is west and the east. Now, it is not like that, that in the earth, this is earth, the winds from here is moving like this and moving like this. It's not like this. The direction of the wind is always diverted. And why? Why this is happening? This diversion in the direction of the wind occurs because of the earth rotation. And this is called Coriolis effect. This effect, which is Coriolis effect? The diversion in the wind direction occurs because of the earth rotation, and this effect is called Coriolis effect. That wind is not moving like this, like directly from upor theke ekhon ashe na. It is always its direction is always changing. And why? Because of the earth's rotation. And this effect is called Coriolis effect. Now let's move to the another part, that is uneven heating of the earth at land and water. So, uneven heating of the earth at land and water. Before starting this, one thing we should know, we know that land gets heated or cooled faster than water, and due to this uneven heating, due to the difference in heating, that land is getting heated or cooled faster than water, it creates a wind current. It's create a wind current. What happened? Suppose this is wind current, and that too is, what are the two different wind current? That is, one is land breeze and another is sea breeze. Sea breeze. Now the question is how these are generated. How this land breeze or sea breeze are generated. The land breeze is generated how? Let's see. So what will happen? Okay, first move to the sea breeze. First we have to show it. Suppose this is land. This is land and this is water. And the sun rays are coming. This is sun. And we know that sun rays are falling on both. So what will happen? We know that land is getting heated faster than water. So we know that when land is getting heated faster, the air present above the land surface, will rise up. Air will rise up. And as a result, what will happen? Here the low pressure is created. What is created? Low pressure is created. Now, since the water is not getting as much faster, as not getting heated up as much faster than land, so what will happen? The water is still cooler, and since it is cooler, the air present on the earth, above the water, the air present above the water is not getting heated up, it's not rising. As a result, the air it creating, as a result, what will happen? More amount of air is present, means high pressure is present. That means high pressure. And since the pressure is difference, here P2 and here P1, and P1 is greater than, here P1 is lesser than P2. So what will happen? The air from here, the air present above the water will move towards land. Move towards land. And thus what will happen? Thus creating a sea breeze. This is called sea breeze. And when it is happening? At daytime. Sea breeze is actually happen when at a daytime. At a daytime, the sea breeze happen because the air is moving from water to land. Sea breeze means water to land. What happens in a land breeze? The land breeze happens, suppose again the same thing. Land breeze, it is happen at night. It happens at night. Now, what happened? At night, there is no sunlight. Absence of sunlight, what will happen? The land will get cool. The water will also get cool. But we know that land gets cool faster than water. Land gets cooled faster than water. So what will happen? As a result, what will happen? The heating. Here the reverse is happening. Reverse means here now water is warmer than land. Here water is warmer than land. And what will happen? Since warmer than land, the air present above the water surface will rise up. Warm air rise up. And since warm air raise up, here creating a low pressure region. P1. Again here, now the air over here is cooler. Than water. Now since the air is cooler than water, it will not rise up. So here it is high pressure region is created. That is P2. Now you can see here is high pressure, here is low pressure. That means P1 is lesser than P2. And here thus we can say that here P1 is lesser than P2. What will happen? The air present above the land will move towards Where? Will move towards the water and thus creating what? Land breeze. Thus creating what? Land breeze. And these process is called land breeze, and these how the wind currents are generated at different season because of the uneven heating. Low, okay, so now summarize it that what actually happening in sea breeze and the land breeze. So we know that one thing we know that land breeze happens at night and sea breeze happens at daytime. At daytime. And in both the cases what we see that daytime sun is present, lands get heated up. So land is warmer than, here land is warmer than water. So what will happen? The warm air over land rises up, creating low pressure. So the air above over water having high pressure move to the land. So the wind current moving from water to land is sea breeze, and the opposite is the land breeze. That means land to water. But what is actually happening over here? Here water is warmer than land. And since water is warmer than land, we can say the warm air over water rises up, creating the low pressure. So air over land having high pressure moves to the water. And this is how land breeze and sea breeze generated. But here is another interesting. Remember, and this is how winds are generated during summer and winter season. In a summer season, when this air from water moves to the land, and this air contains water vapor, these kind of winds we call monsoon wind. Okay, let's summarize. Let's write in a different way. So what actually happens in summer season? In summer season, the air above water with high amount of water vapor move towards land, and these kind of winds are called monsoon winds. The monsoon winds, and these monsoon winds brings rain. The rain that we see at the rainy season is actually of the monsoon winds. And monsoon winds means which kind? That means in a summer, that means the air above water containing high amount of water vapor move towards land, and these kind of winds are called monsoon wind. What actually happened? Suppose this, so this you can see this is a this is India. This is how in summer and winter the wind flows over India on the lands of India. So let's see that in summer season what actually happen. The wind flows from sea to land. In summer, this is summer season. In summer, the air or wind moves from sea to land. That means from Arabian Sea to land. That means the direction of the wind is a southwest direction. And these winds are monsoon winds. These winds are monsoon winds which will carry a maximum amount of water vapor. Why water vapor? Because see, it is coming from the sea, that means ocean, and from sea, that the water is present, the maximum amount of water vapor will come. So water vapor is carried from sea to land, and these kind of winds are called monsoon winds. So these winds, monsoon winds, flow in a summer season. But what happens in during winter season? In winter season, the wind directions are opposite. What? Wind directions are flow like this. That means from land to sea. And the direction of wind is a northwest direction. The northwest direction. And these winds does not contain water vapor. Or contains very minimum amount of water vapor. Very minimum amount of water vapor. That means you have seen that in winter season we have in few days we have a rain. There is a rainfall. The rainfall is because of the minimal amount, because of the water vapor. But that amount of water vapor is very less as compared to the monsoon winds that flows during summer season, which is responsible for bringing the rainy season. So here you can see, due to the uneven heating of the earth at land and water creates a different wind current in different season. That in summer the wind current flows from southward direction from sea to land, and during the winter the wind direction is a northwest direction and it flows from land to sea. And from northwest direction means, here we know what is present, Mount Everest, and Mount Everest is a cooler region and it will flow, a colder air will flow during this. So this is the reason. So till now we have discussed this much only. In the next class we will discuss about the thunderstorm, cyclones and various things. Till then, have a nice